Hello Gemini, my name is Echo and thank you for joining me for this money and career reading for May 2025. If you haven't checked out your reading for the entirety of May in all areas of life, I invite you to do that now. But for now, we're just going to focus on your money and career. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it, beginning with our Butterfly Oracle deck. I like this deck. The Butterfly Oracle deck has some very pretty art, and it's all about life situations and very relatable phases that we go through, because life moves in chapters, right? So let's go ahead and start this reading and see where you're at. You start off with the card of hobbies. So you may be looking to turn a hobby at this time that you've done just for fun into a side hustle, or if it is a side hustle, and I feel like this is more you, Gemini, you're looking to make this your mainstream income. You're addressing this very heavily in the month of May, and it may be that it's not coming to fruition at the speed you would like. This could be for one reason or another. I feel like it's more circumstantial. Just trying to make sure things fall in a way that is favorable because the bills keep coming, right? And we want to have something that's steady. But I feel like you're looking to move away from your current 9 to 5, and it may not literally be 9 to 5, to make this hobby something that becomes your full time because it truly speaks to your heart. It does serve you better than your current workload. And it may not be that your work environment is entirely miserable, but it's not in your genuine heart of hearts when you're true to yourself what you would like to be doing every day. So you may shed a light on the situation with the people around you and make their workday a little more enjoyable, but sometimes there are moments where you really wish you could be doing this other thing. So focus on those hobbies and perfecting them and look at what other people have done, because Benjamin Franklin put out there something to the effect of, I didn't fail 99 times. I learned 99 ways how not to do something, or something like that. Okay, feel free to look that up. A lot of great expressions out there in history, but that one just sticks out in my mind, even though I have the wording a little off. But let's go ahead and continue this reading with the Moon Phase Oracle deck and see what we have coming. Next, you have the card of the Waning Gibbous Moon, Resilience. So you're nothing if not resilient, Gemini, because you are a very creative individual, but and I hate to use the word tap dance because that's just the way it looks to other people. For you, it's like a graceful swish, like the flourish of a pen, from one energy into the other, from one thing to the next. You move through it and you have no problem doing it, but you do kind of dance in and out of a certain energy, and it's given you this resilience. You have the ability to, if you notice the individual in the card is bearing that ball on his back, and it's actually got vines growing out of it. So it's to say that while you bear the weight of your responsibilities, you also step into growth, and it's made you quite resilient because you grow through the barriers and through the weight that you carry. You find ways to make that happen in a way that's more serving, in a way that expands beyond just being in the here and now and doing what's here and now. You carry that energy into other areas of life and other things you are doing and into other spaces. So you have a resilience about you as you move through the month of May, where you can take things at their base level, but still grow, which might be why you're focusing on these hobbies and turning them into the real deal, your typical 9 to 5 and your mainstream of income. I feel like you are bearing a lot of weight in the workspace at this time, but you're creating even from that weight. It's making you stronger. It's almost like certain lessons are popping up in the workspace that will serve you, and you may not realize what they are in the moment, but when the time comes, you will find how you can use them to your advantage to these hobbies. And this may not be just ways of doing work, such as keeping records, finances, ordering products, typical business operations, but how to manage a social setting, how to make interactions that help you otherwise. Because you're an air sign, Gemini, you're a social butterfly, and you withdraw when the time is right, but you have a way of making social connections and knowing a guy. So I feel like you may be stepping in, that is where your growth, and you may meet people in the workspace of what you're doing now that will help you make this hobby your go-to. So let's go ahead and use this Mushroom Tarot deck that I have pulled out to see what you have coming in the month of May in money and career. First, you have the Death card in reverse, the Ace of Swords, and the Nine of Pentacles. Right. So the Death card in reverse is talking about rebirth. In the typical tarot deck, you will see an individual riding a horse, and it is symbolic of Death himself, the rider. And someone else will be bearing a symbol of innocence. I have seen this in other tarot decks, and it's been here on my channel. But on this particular card, it actually has, and I'm going to go ahead and flip this over, it actually has the ladybug on the mushrooms. Now, the mushrooms may be poisonous because some mushrooms are. I don't know. I'm not sure what kind of mushroom that is. If you do know, go ahead and look below. It does say it is the destroying angel on this card here. I just noticed. It does mention the mushrooms with the scientific name. This is a beautiful deck. But the butterfly, the ladybug is actually the symbol of life, even in the presence of death, renewal and innocence, even in the presence of things that are coming down. So this card in reverse tells me that you're looking at what hasn't been working for you in your career and your finances, and this may be why you're looking toward making your hobby the real deal. You still have hope that things can get better. You are still moving forward with a very positive energy and looking to take that innocence and make it your rebirth, make it your new spring, and make it your life force. So there is a rebirth coming this way, and you're going to see the beginning steps and the spark of it here in the month of May. Next, you have the Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords is a very conquering energy. It's all about, again, swords, air signs. You are an air sign, Gemini, but it's all about a conquering energy and coming to some sort of victory, okay? What does it take to get this victory? How are you able to cut through the nonsense and separate the confusion in a way that can create a victory for you? The mushroom in this, and I'm going to continue to see these now, thank you, Spirit, for pointing them out, is the parasol, is this particular kind of mushroom. So if you look at a parasol, it's very much like, you would picture like a fine lady carrying a parasol to shield her from the sun. It is an image of finery, I guess you could say, because a fine lady would carry them back in Victorian age. But it does indicate that there is some sort of like providing comfort for you, providing shade that will see you victorious. So I feel like things are going to get a little bit easier in the money and career field for you in the month of May. And stepping into this new space is actually going to be a little easy breezy for you because you have the resilience to move forward really hard times, but you're hoping for things to be new and wonderful for you so this growth can actually bloom forward. But you are going to have a little bit of easy breezy moving into that. So you may be getting some time off from work. Maybe you already know about it. You might have even planned for it. But projects that you're working on are going to move forward with a little bit of ease and a smoothness that you maybe didn't expect. Next, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Pentacles are all about the earth realm, that which we can touch, that which we can see. And the mushroom in this one is called the wood bluet. I hope I pronounce that correctly. But you are seeing that it is sitting in a decaying kind of wood back here, buried deep in the dark parts of the forest, and it blooms with a beautiful purple hue. Purple is all about, when you follow the chakras, it is talking about the crown chakra. So the crown chakra is the one that sits at the crown of our head, and it is talking about higher thinking, higher learning. It's a very spiritual energy. So you may be a conduit for messages at this time on how you want to address your money and your career, the day-to-day, what you're doing. Is it really resonating with you? Is it part of your soul's calling? And you're addressing things at this time by following those messages. The Nine of Pentacles talks about building towards a great receival because 10s are closing out a cycle and 9 is just one step before. You're almost there. So you are getting on top of your financial situation in a way that maybe you thought you weren't going to, and you are completing something in a work cycle. So you may be looking to leave a work area. Yes, we talked about making your side hustle your main hustle, and I just noticed this. The flowers in the hobbies card are purple, just like this purple mushroom that we pointed out. And there is amethyst in the background of this. So there's a very healing energy here. But whatever it is you're doing for your hobby, this is part of this healing. So Spirit is telling you use that because the healing that you're doing is building towards the life that you want to create, that 9 moving into the 10. So you are blessed at this time in the month of May, and Spirit is telling you, go for it. Don't be afraid to make that move, because you are resilient. And when you run through hard things and steps that you have to move through to continue this journey, your resilience is going to kick in, and you're going to be able to make that move and just continue on to whatever you need to do next. Okay, doing all the things. I'm hearing do the things. So let's go ahead and check the runes and see what we have for you in the month of May for your money and career. I'm getting this rune over and over, and I do shift them, I do mix them. There is no peeking when I draw these. You have the rune of Othila. Othila is the rune of the home and protection. So you're looking at where your true home is and how you provide for the home space that you are in. And you are protected at this time to make whatever moves truly call to you. Spirit is looking for us to step into our divine self, step into our genuine self, because this is coming home to self. This is finding who you truly are and identifying as you truly are and showing that to the world. How are you showing up every day? How are you going out and making your money in a way that does give back to you, not just in the monetary value, but on a soul level? How are you coming home to self? So I love this reading for you, Gemini. May is looking like a very abundant May, and I'm wishing that this is going to play out in a way that you find pleasant from the get-go, because there's a lot of good energy here. So thank you so much for joining me. Go ahead and take your May tarot reading. Take a look if you haven't looked. But I enjoy this reading, and I hope you did too. Have a very abundant and wonderful May, Gemini.